Hi boys and girls, today we are going to go over numbers and operations in fractions. Which fraction model best represents 4 times 2/3? My strategy in these problems is if drawings confuse you, just do the math first and then see what drawing matches the math with the answer. So let's do 4 times 2/3. Well, basically this is like 4 over 1, and 4 times 2 is 8, and 3 times 1 is 3. So the answer is going to be 8/3, which is equal to 2 and 2/3. Okay, so now let's look through and see which one equals 8/3 or 2 and 2/3. So if we look at A, we've got 1, 2 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 2 out of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is shaded out of 4. That doesn't make sense at all, so it can't be A. Next, B is 1, 2 out of 3, 1, 2 out of 3, 1, 2 out of 3, 1, 2 out of 3. This looks like it makes sense, so let's leave that. That's a possibility. We've got 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, but there's only 3 of them, and we know we multiplied by 4, so C doesn't really make sense either. The next one, D, is 1/2, so 1, 2, 3, 4 halves. Well, we didn't do halves, so it can't be D. Let's check B again and make sure this looks like 4 times 2/3, which equals 8/3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of 2/3 in each section, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8/3 is the correct answer, so B is correct. Which of the following situations is represented by 25/9? Well, we know that 25 over 9 is the same thing as 25 divided by 9. Let's read each situation and see which ones show 25 divided by 9 or 25 split by 9. A says Melanie equally shares 9 meters of paper to create 25 murals. Well, what are we splitting here? The 25 murals or the 9 meters? This one's splitting 9 meters, so it's 9 divided by 25. Is that the same thing as 25 divided by 9? Nope, so it can't be A. B says Joe has to create practice groups of 9 from 25 teammates. So what are we splitting? Are we splitting the 25 teammates into 9 groups? Yes, so 25 divided by 9. C, Quill gives away 9 baseball cards from a pack of 25. If you give something away, are you adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing it? You're subtracting it. So he's got 25 cards, and he's giving away 9. So that's subtract that 9. Is that the same thing as 25 divided by 9? No. And D, Becca creates 9 rows with 25 buttons each. So if she has 9 rows and each button, or each row has 25 buttons, that's 25 times 9. Is 25 times 9 the same thing as 25 divided by 9? No way. So let's check B again and make sure it makes sense. Joe has to create practice groups of 9 from 25 teammates. So he's splitting the 25 teammates into practice groups of 9, and they're going to find out how many groups that is. So that shows 25 divided by 9. So the correct answer is B. The square below represents 1 square unit. Which expression represents the area of the dark gray section? So the dark gray section is 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 21. So that gray area is 3 out of 21. Let's look and see what is shaded in this section. We know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, and how many are shaded? 1, 2, 3. So that would be 3/7. Now let's look at this side and see how many are shaded on this side. We have 1 shaded out of 1, 2, 3 rows. So this is 1/3. So it would be 3/7 times 1/3. And let's see if that equals our 3 shaded out of 21. So 3 times 1 is 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So we need to find A, B, C, or D that is 3/7 times 1/3. So let's look through. Is this 3/7 times 1/3? Nope, so it's not A. Is this 3/7 times 1/3? Yes. Is this 3/7 times 1/3? No. And is this 3/7 times 1/3? No. So the answer is B. Each lap around Crandall Park is 9 2/3 miles. Miss Walter jogged 3/4 of a lap before her sneaker came untied. How many miles did Miss Walter jog before she had to stop and tie her shoe? Well, we know that each lap was 9 2/3 miles, and she jogged 3/4 of a lap. So she did 3/4 of a lap, and a lap is 9 2/3. So she did 3/4 of 9 2/3, which tells us we need to multiply. So we're going to do 3/4 times 9 2/3. I'm going to change 9 2/3 to an improper fraction. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 2 is 29/3. 4 times 3 is 12, and 29 times 3 I'll do off to the side. 3 times 9 is 27, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. I get 87/12. And if I do 87 divided by 12, I'm going to try 12 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 84 is close to 87. So I'm going to do 7 times 12 is 84. I subtract and get 3/12. So now my answer is 7 3/12. Let's go to our A, B, C, and D and see which one is equal to 7 3/12. So is 7 1/2, 8 1/2? Well, I know it's not 8 1/2 because that's not 7. 7 1/4 or 8 1/4? I know it's not 8 1/4 because I know my answer has 7 in it. 7 1/2 and 7 1/4, well, neither of those are my answer because my answer is 7 3/12. When this happens, I need to ask myself, are one of these equivalent to 7 3/12? Well, I'm going to simplify 7 3/12 by dividing by 3 over 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So is one of those 7 1/4? Absolutely. My answer is C. Mrs. Walter stopped jogging after 7 1/4 miles to tie her shoe. A recipe for one batch of cookies includes 3/4 cups of chocolate chips. Mara made 4 1/2 batches of cookies. How many cups of chocolate chips did she use? So she made 4 1/2 batches, and each batch has 3/4 cup. So I'm going to do 4 1/2 times 3/4 to see how much of the chocolate chips she used. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, so I have 9 halves times 3/4 equals 27/8, and 27 divided by 8. 8 times 3 is 24, and 3 out of 8. So 3 3/8. Let's go to our A, B, C, and D and find 3 3/8. Nope, nope, nope. Bingo, the answer is D. And if you're noticing, I'm not looking at my A, B, C, and D until after I found my answer. Okay, and that's a really great strategy. You should see what your work shows you and what your answer is before you go and check to find which one is correct. Jenna, Mara, Alicia, and Michaela equally shared 4/5 of a cake. What fraction of the whole cake did each of them receive? So sometimes drawing a picture will help you. So we have a cake, right? And it's split into fifths. Okay. 4/5 are shared. Okay. So 4/5 are shared. And they want to know what fraction of the whole cake did they each receive. So they're splitting. We have to split or share the 4/5. So if we're splitting the 4/5, that means we're dividing it. Now, how many people shared that 4/5? We have Jenna, Mara, Alicia, and Michaela. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So we're going to divide that by 4. Now, we could either take a drawing of 4/5, and we could show that this is 4/5, and we could divide it into 4 sections, or we could find the reciprocal of 4, which is 1/4, and we could do 4/5 times 1/4 is 4/20. So each person is going to get 4/20 of a piece of cake. And again, I look and I don't see 4/20, so I'm going to try to simplify and see if I can get that one of those answers. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. Do I see 1/5 there? Yes, I do. D is the correct answer. DeCarlos had 3 cakes to sell at the school bake sale. 10 people wanted to buy the 3 cakes, so he decided to divide them up equally. What fraction of a cake will each person get? Draw a representation showing DeCarlos could divide the cakes into equal pieces. So he has 3 whole cakes, and he wants to split it or divide it by 10 people. So 3 divided by 10 is going to give us our answer. Now 10 can't go into 3 0 times, and I get 3 out of 10. So my answer is going to be 3/10 of a cake, okay? So if I want to draw a picture of this, I'm going to just draw 3 cakes, okay? And I'm going to draw 10 people. Okay, so I'm going to split each cake into 10 sections. Don't mind my sloppy thing. So each person is going to get 1 piece from each cake because there's 10 pieces in each cake. So how many pieces is each person going to get? 3 out of 10. So each person's going to get 3/10 of a cake. There are 24 pencils in Bryce's pencil box. 3/4 of the pencils are mechanical pencils. How many of his pencils are mechanical? So again, sometimes drawing helps us to visualize. So there are 24 pencils, and 3/4 of them are mechanical. So these are mechanical, and these are not mechanical. Okay, and we want to know how many of his pencils are mechanical, so this is what we're going to find out. So we could either do 3/4 of 24, which is 3/4 times 24, or we could do 24 divided by 4, and then that answer times 3. So either of these is going to give us the correct answer. So I'll show you 3/4 of 24 first. So 24 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So we have 72/4. And 72 divided by 4. 4 times 8 is 32. So we've got 18 mechanical pencils that this says. If I do 24 divided by 4, I know that 4 times 6 is 24. So that means each unit is 6. And if 3 of those units are mechanical, 6 times 3 is 18. So my answer is 18 pencils are mechanical. Whichever way you did this problem will get you the correct answer. Thanks for watching Day 6, Numbers and Operations in Fractions.